Welcome back to Game Theory. Today we delve into the unsettling world of Poppy Playtime, Chapter 4. Brace yourselves because things are about to get sticky. Let me introduce you to Doey the Doughman, a seemingly lovable character with a tragic past. Doey isn't your average toy. He's Experiment 1322, a horrifying fusion of Playtime Co.'s twisted experiments. This doughy figure with his cheerful grin and baker's hat hides a dark secret beneath his sugary exterior. Imagine being trapped inside your own mind, your personality fragmented, sharing your existence with two others. That's Doey's reality. He's the amalgamation of three orphaned children, Jackie, Kevin, and Matthew. Each child subjected to Playtime Co.'s cruel experiments brings their own trauma and personality to Doey's fractured psyche. Their memories, their fears, their very beings are blended together like ingredients in a horrifying recipe. Let's break down the dough, shall we? Each child absorbed into Doey plays a crucial role in his personality and actions. First, we have Jackie Ayers, the youngest of the three. Jackie, designated as 1322A, was a cheerful and optimistic child. Sadly, his life took a dark turn when he fell into a vat of experimental dough, the same dough that would become Doey's body. Next, we have Kevin Barnes, or 1322B. Kevin represents the volatile and aggressive side of Doey. His childhood was marred by abuse and neglect, leaving him prone to violent outbursts. Finally, we have Matthew Hallard, 1322C. Matthew was the oldest and most level-headed of the trio. He possessed natural leadership qualities and often acted as a mediator between Jackie and Kevin. Imagine three voices constantly battling for control, each pulling Doey in a different direction. Jackie's inherent kindness shines through in Doey's gentle demeanor and desire to help others. Kevin, haunted by his past, surfaces in moments of stress and anger, turning Doey from a protector to a threat. His rage, a manifestation of his own suffering, bubbles to the surface in unpredictable and dangerous ways. Matthew, the voice of reason, tries to maintain order within Doey's fractured mind. He understands the gravity of their situation and seeks a peaceful resolution, even as Kevin's anger threatens to consume them all. Doey's personality is a constant tug-of-war between these three distinct individuals. Jackie's cheerfulness, Kevin's rage, and Matthew's leadership create a complex and unpredictable character. Within the dilapidated walls of Playtime Company, a sanctuary emerges from the shadows, Safe Haven. This haven, a refuge for abandoned toys, becomes Doey's domain. He appoints himself as its protector, his Doey form a comforting presence amidst the fear and uncertainty. The toys, discarded and forgotten, find solace in Doey's gentle nature. He becomes their leader, their confidant, the one they turn to for guidance and reassurance in this unsettling new world. But remember, Doey's mind is a battleground. While he strives to maintain peace and order within Safe Haven, the echoes of Kevin's trauma linger, threatening to shatter the fragile harmony he's created. The weight of responsibility weighs heavily on Doey. He desperately clings to the hope that he can protect these toys, provide them with the safety and security that he and his fellow prisoners were denied. Section 5, a helping hand guiding the player through peril. As players navigate the treacherous corridors of Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, they encounter Doey early on. Initially, he appears as an ally, a beacon of hope in this twisted factory. He guides players through the dilapidated facility, offering advice and assistance. Remember Pianosaurus, that monstrous musical menace? Doey plays a crucial role in the player's escape, using his strength and knowledge of the factory to outwit the terrifying creature. He's a vital ally, ensuring the player's survival in this nightmarish world. But Doey's help doesn't end there. He understands the dangers that lurk within Playtime Company. He knows the horrors that await those who wander the halls alone. He becomes the player's guide, leading them through the darkness. Doey's motivations are complex. He sees a glimmer of hope in the player, a chance to break free from this prison. He believes that by helping the player, he might find redemption for himself and the children trapped within him. Section 6, the Omni-Hand, a glimmer of hope for Safe Haven. Doey's world revolves around protecting those under his care. When Safe Haven's generator malfunctions, plunging their sanctuary into darkness, he sees an opportunity for the player to prove their worth. He tasks the player with retrieving the Omni Hand, a powerful tool created by Playtime Company, believing it holds the key to restoring power to Safe Haven. He places his trust and the fate of the toys in the player's hands. This request highlights Doey's desperation. He's willing to risk everything, trusting a complete stranger to ensure the safety of those who depend on him. His compassion, fueled by Jackie's gentle nature, shines through in his actions. The Omni Hand represents more than just a tool to Doey. It's a symbol of hope. He believes that by fixing the generator, he can create a semblance of normalcy for the toys, a chance to live free from fear. Section 7. The prototype's assault, shattering Safe Haven and Doey's mind. Just when a flicker of hope emerges, tragedy strikes. The prototype, a monstrous experiment gone wrong, attacks Safe Haven, unleashing chaos and destruction upon Doey's fragile sanctuary. The toys, once filled with hope, are now consumed by terror. The walls of their haven crumble around them, and Doey, their protector, seems powerless to stop the onslaught. His worst fears are realized. The prototype's attack represents more than just a physical assault. It's a direct attack on Doey's sanity. The trauma of that night, the screams of the toys, the destruction of everything he's worked to build, proves to be his breaking point. Kevin, fueled by the chaos and destruction, surges to the forefront of Doey's fractured mind. The trauma of his past, the abuse, the neglect, it all comes flooding back, amplified by the horrors unfolding before him. Section 8. The Doughman crumbles transformation into a monstrous antagonist. The attack proves to be too much for Doey's already fractured mind to bear. Kevin, fueled by rage and a desire to protect what's left of his fragmented self, seizes control, pushing Jackie and Matthew aside. Doey's doughy form, once soft and comforting, contorts into a grotesque mockery of its former self. He transforms into a monstrous antagonist, his rage and pain manifesting in a terrifying new form. The Doey guardian of Safe Haven is no more. The transformation is both physical and psychological. Doey's appearance reflects the turmoil raging within his mind. He becomes a monstrous amalgamation of dough and rage, a terrifying symbol of Playtime Co.'s cruel experiments. Players are forced to confront the consequences of their actions. Their involvement, their pursuit of the Omni Hand, inadvertently set in motion the chain of events that led to Doey's downfall. They are now face to face with the monster they helped create. Section 9. Facing the consequences. How players can defeat Doey. Doey, now a shell of his former self, becomes the final antagonist of Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Players must confront their creation, battling the very being they once sought to help. It's a battle of morality, a fight for survival against a tragic figure. But defeating Doey isn't as simple as brute force. Players must exploit his weakness, using the environment and their wits to outmaneuver this monstrous manifestation of grief and trauma. It's a battle of strategy and cunning. Remember Doey's origins. His doughy form, once a symbol of comfort, becomes his downfall. Players must use industrial freezers and crushing equipment, exploiting his doughy composition to stop him, putting an end to his suffering. The battle against Doey is a heart-wrenching experience, a constant reminder of the tragic consequences of Playtime Co.'s actions. It's a battle that leaves players questioning their role in this twisted narrative, forcing them to confront the true cost of their actions.